that the so-called summer bunnies come back to the country. Now, in case you don't know and have never heard of summer bunnies, Kenyans living in diaspora, you know, they work there, and monthly, weekly, they make sure that if you're in Kenya, you get something small to eat, invest, and all that. And for this particular 1 hour, we're going to be discussing about the importance of Kenyans in diaspora and how they can be able to invest, and even for you who remains here, that whole link. And I'm going to be giving you this with the best of minds for this conversation, a bank that makes sure that you actually get the knowledge of this. And joining us for this conversation is Simon Halonda. He is the head of Diaspora Banking at Kenya Commercial Bank. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Stanley.
Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
Are you
nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Are you in the festive mood already?
Yes. Already at KCB, we're in Christmas mood. And we are happy to see many of our brothers and sisters who stay in the diaspora coming back for festivities, to join their families and friends, just to celebrate together and enjoy this wonderful moment. And I'm also happy to be here in the studio with you, just to discuss matters diaspora banking, which are issues very close to my heart.
Most definitely.
Thank you.
The fact that I've already mentioned your name, and even the bank you come from, that you could also tell us, who is KCB Bank? I mean, we do see the bank itself in adverts, in billboards out here. But we probably don't know, what KCB entails. Tell us.
Thank you so much. KCB, we are now celebrating 127 years of operations. Started off about 127 years as a small bank, just banking a small population of Kenyans in the coastal part of Kenya. We grew to Nairobi as National Green List Bank. Then at independence, National Green List Bank was bought by the Kenyan government, which was split into two to form Kenya Commercial Bank on one hand and Central Bank. So we became Kenya Commercial Bank at independence. Our headquarters was actually at National Archives. That was our headquarters.
Wow.
We operated at that space as our headquarters for some time until 1981, when we were moved to Kencom. We built Kencom House in 1981. We continued operating as a parastatal up to 1999. That is when KCB was born. And the reason why KCB was born is because as a bank, we were seeing our customers migrating into the region. So we saw customers moving into Sudan, Uganda, Tanzania. And as a bank, we started moving out into the region. Today, we are operating 662 branches in this region. As KCB Bank,
by region, what do you mean?
East and Central Africa. We are a regional bank today.
Right.
We have grown from a small bank within Kenya to a regional powerhouse. We are the biggest bank now in the region, in East and Central Africa region.
Right.
You go to Southern Sudan, you will find KCB. You will go to Rwanda, DRC Congo, Tanzania, Uganda. We are represented heavily in these markets.
Right. So that it's in East and Central Africa.
Yes, East and Central Africa. And we have seen today as a bank our customers now moving out of Africa and going into continents.
Right.
And we have also expanded through our agents. We have agents across Africa and the world at large.
So before we touch on across Africa and the world, the fact that you're a regional bank and your name is really huge in East and Central Africa, which countries do you get more clients and more customers where Kenyans are in these other countries in East and Central Africa region?
We can say customers are spread across the region.
Which is the highest country?
We have our biggest numbers coming from, we have seen a lot of customers in Uganda.
Uganda.
A lot of Kenyans in Uganda, especially business customers, students. A number of Kenyans are going to Uganda to study. And after that, you know, they end up getting employment in Uganda. We see a lot of our people also traveling to other countries like Rwanda, Tanzania, and we are happy to follow them. Many a times we have also seen a lot of customers in Sudan, southern Sudan, a lot of Kenyans also there.
Right.
And we are now seeing many again moving to Ethiopia, where we have a rep office in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa.
So now out of East and Central Africa, now out of Africa, you are telling us that you're seeing your people moving and you decide, you know what, you're not going alone, we are also following you there. So tell us, now out of Africa, how far does your reach go to? And now out of Africa, how many branches are there? Yes,
I want to say that Kenyans are very agile, people, very hardworking, and again, when you look at our level of education, many countries are coming for Kenyan labor. Today in the morning, I was actually handling an agent who is processing contracts for people who are going to Serbia. So you can imagine. We are happy with the opportunities which are coming up, and we have seen a lot of Kenyans traveling to work in Europe. We have Kenyans in the US, Canada, Australia. Australia, in fact, we are having a very good conversation with the Kenyan embassy to visit them in February. We have so many Kenyans in Australia, and this is a group which is yearning to invest back home. So we are going to have engagements. We had wonderful interactions with Kenyans in Europe, especially Spain in August, UK, Germany. Germany has a lot of Kenyans, and we are happy with the contract the government of Kenya signed with the government of Germany.
Meaning more Kenyans, even more Kenyans.
More opportunities for our people to go and work there. In a good and decent way, and earn some money which they can send back home to take care of their families, children, parents, because again, that is the reason why we wake up every morning to work. So we are happy, again, with the efforts the government is just doing. Qatar, we saw last week many Kenyans going to Qatar for work. And these are opportunities for people just to make money and come to support families and parents back home.
Right.
So as KCB, we play a bigger role, and we're excited to be on this page.
All right. So we are also, even as Cape Media, we also have out of the borders, and we have listenership across these particular countries that you're mentioning. So be sure that even if someone from Qatar watching us this morning, they're wondering, Mr. Alonda is here telling us that KCB has a particular reach in this country that I'm in. So is it a physical shop that someone who's watching us from Qatar, they can go to, or is it digital banking? Help us understand that.
Yeah, so what we have done, we are serving Kenyans in two dimensions. One, we have our agents spread across the world.
Okay.
KCB has about 157 agents as we speak today, spread across all continents, Asia, Europe, Australia, Africa. We also have agents in our African countries to serve our customers. We also do road shows as we speak today. Stanley, we have our team in Qatar. We have our head of Sahel Banking, Hamed, leading a strong team of our relationship managers in Qatar and Saudi, who are there to interact with Kenyans, talk to them, see their pain points, because sometimes we see when we go out there, we have our customers who have issues with their internet banking passwords. So this team always goes around to ensure that we are able to resolve these operational issues for customers. For banking, KCB has a robust internet banking system. Wherever you are across the world, you have access to your account. You can see your balance. You can do transfers from one account to the other. You can also pay to mobile wallets if you want to pay somebody on the wallet.
Right.
So we have a digital presence across, and we also ensure that there is that physical interaction with our customers across.
So, for example, again, we'll use Qatar in this case because you're telling us, and it's true, that after just before Jamhuri Day, the contingent of about 300 Kenyans, sent to Qatar for, labor. For someone who's in Qatar, you tell us that there's an agent. So I'm working there. How do I know that there's an agent, first of all, and how can I reach this agent for face-to-face conversation?
What we have done, these agents, we have our website. When you visit our KCB Bank website,
okay,
we have the names of all our agents published there, and we have put their contacts. So you can check the agent who is in your country, the person closer to you.
Okay.
And also you will find telephone numbers to our contact center where you can call. And once you call, we have a relationship manager. It's a 24/7 contact center. So when you call, we have our relationship managers who will be able to pick up that conversation with you and guide you on how to reach the agents, or if it's something that they can just resolve immediately. Probably you want to open an account. Easily they can send you the forms and guide you on how to complete, and you share back with us for us to process. So we have a 24/7 contact center which we can be called at any time.
Okay.
And also on the website we have published the names of our agents across the world.
So that means I don't have to actually, if for example you're the agent, I don't have to actually meet you, because for Kenyans there's always that feeling that I have to actually walk into the gates of the doors of KCB Bank so that I actually talk to someone and I feel that I've been helped.
Yes, I know it's our culture where you want to have the physical interaction. But again, remember, when you are doing that, you are eating into your time, which you could have spent at work. So we have we are encouraging paperless transactions, so that when you are out there and you want to transact, you don't really have to waste a lot of time. You are able to just contact our people online. We have relationship managers. I didn't mention that. We have a relationship manager for each continent. Okay. So for example, when you look at Middle East, we just have a relationship manager who is handling Middle East. When you look at Canada, so if we have somebody calling from Canada, we have an expert who is very clear with the market, and they pick up that issue quickly and ensure that they help the customer resolve that matter as quickly as possible. If it's opening an account, we are able to do that. We share with you documents online. If you want to process a loan, we share with you the requirements, and you process, you send online to your relationship manager, who is able to pick up and run through that with the help of a branch. Okay. Because each customer is assigned to a branch. So we originate those transactions from the branch, and you don't have to travel. We don't want people to waste that time. You'd rather have that time used for productive things. Yes. At work. Yes. Right.
So because you've also already mentioned about opening the account, because I wanted you now to get into the kind of services that these agents provide. So first of all, they help you in opening this account. This is someone who they have heard of KCB. They've watched us this morning, and they say, let me get into KCB Bank. I'm in Qatar. I'm somewhere out of Kenya. So after opening this account, what kind of services does someone who lives out of Kenya and they hope to come back to Kenya once in a while what kind of services do they get to benefit from?
Yes, we have, let me say that we look at our customers from a 360 perspective,
Okay.
360-degree perspective.
Right.
We have customers who just want to have an account where they want to use it for transactions. So for Diaspora customers, we have the KCB Diaspora transaction account, which you can open and do payments from time to time. Maybe you have workers and you want to use that account for paying them. So we are able to open for you that from anywhere across the world. Just the basic requirements for opening an account. One, we will need your ID. Of course, you're a Kenyan, so you must give us your ID. We will need the KRA PIN for us to use for opening the account, because at the end of the year, we have to pay you some interest on your deposits. So we'll require the KRA PIN, because when we pay you interest, a small portion goes into tax. Okay, so we will need that. Then we'll need your photo, of course. Nowadays, you don't have to go to a studio and sit there, and you can take your photo, all right? So we will be able to take that, and you fill the forms, and we open for you an account. But we also have Kenyans who want to save. So we have two categories of savings account. We have the Simba savings account, where you put in your money and earn interest of 8.5% per annum.
Right.
And we have Kenyans who just want to save for a specific goal. Let's say I'm saving to purchase land. So we have what we call the goal account. So you set a goal and you say, I want to buy land in Syokimau. Okay. So you say the land is costing 3 million. So in 3 years, I want to have my 3 million and purchase land. So we have a goal account, which will help you to achieve that particular objective. So once you have an account, you become a customer. But again, we have customers in the diaspora who approach us and they don't have an account with KCB. And they say, I have an opportunity here to purchase a house, or I want to construct a house in Kilimani. Okay, so we start the relationship from there. And we have our KCB mortgage division. We didn't have this, but from the engagements that we had with customers in the diaspora, especially this year and last year, we requested our leadership to bring back the mortgage division, because mortgage division has experts who can guide and walk the journey of real estate construction.
Right.
So we have engineers in our mortgage division. We have quantity surveyors, real professionals who will walk the journey with our customers to guide them on investment. We have also just customers who say, I want to get insurance for my parents, or I want insurance for my properties in Kenya. So we start a relationship from there, and we welcome you to come in as a customer, and we introduce you to our KCB Bank Assurance division, which guides you on how to get insurance facilities. We have also seen, especially younger Kenyans, the young people, asking for investment. We see people coming in and say, I want to purchase government shares, government bonds, T-bills. I want to purchase shares on the stock market, but I've never done it.
Right. So this is just among, because there's something that you mentioned, the whole sending. This that you've mentioned again will be reiterating and just analyzing on how KCB is actually doing them. For the bit of even sending, the transfer of money is a very critical bit, because here you have people in different countries and they definitely use different currencies. Talk to us about the cost of sending money and how the government policies also play in this as well.
Yes, the cost of sending money from international markets has been a challenge in terms of cost for many diasporans. But I want to thank technology. You know, we are in a different era. We have evolved from a system which was transactional in terms of just sending money. It could take 4 days, you know, wiring money from, let's say, Canada to Kenya here. But technology has changed the landscape. When you look at money transfer today, we have so many players who have come in, digital remittance companies. And a number of them are playing in this space who have made the cost come down. We have, as a bank, partnered with so many of these players. Of course, being the biggest bank here, we had to really work out. We have a whole team called the International Money Transfer Department, who have signed contracts with a lot of remittance companies. And because of that, we even have remittance companies who are not charging you for sending money.
Okay.
You just wire your money directly from whichever country. And what we have done at the back end as KCB is also to allow customers to enjoy an array of currencies. So you can be in, for example, Qatar, and you earn in dirham. You don't have to convert your money from dirham to Kenya shillings. We have accounts that will take care of your currency, the currency that you operate in. We have also launched a card, multi-currency card.
Okay.
So if you are earning in whichever currency, let's say if you are earning in Australian dollar, you really don't have to undergo the pain of converting your money from Australian dollar to the Kenyan shilling and in car, those charges. So you are able to remit your money in the currency that you earn in, and that has also helped to reduce the cost of sending money home. So you don't have to go through all those conversions.
Yeah.
You just send in the direct currency that you are earning in. The players...
Does this provide for more remittances so people are even get the whole leeway to actually even send more? Because even taking a look at the remittances, according to the Central Bank of Kenya, for September, remittances hit 54.4 billion Kenya shillings. For October, it was 56.7 billion Kenya shillings. From where you sit as KCB, how does the remittances look like, you as a bank?
Yes, I'm happy to say again that KCB, we are serving about 3 million Kenyans in the diaspora.
Okay.
This is quite a huge number, and I want to thank Kenyans in the diaspora for trusting home. You know, when they are out there, they are earning, working so hard. I know people who are doing 2-3 jobs in a day. They are earning and remembering home. So they send money home to families, their parents, children, savings. We have seen a huge amount of money coming just into savings accounts by Kenyans. We are seeing Kenyans having confidence to invest back in terms of purchasing property. You know, they work probably in London. They are sending money home just to purchase or construct. And this, again, continues to create jobs in our economy. So we have seen a huge increase. As you know, diaspora remittances now is the largest earner of foreign currency for our country. It has actually surpassed our traditional earners like tea and coffee. I think tea last year brought us about 1.2 billion US dollars. Diaspora remittance sits probably, I can say, 3 times more at around 4.2 billion of remittances. At KCB, we have played a huge part in terms of just with our partners, people, remittance companies that we have signed deals with to ensure that this money comes in. So what I described earlier, ensuring that Kenyans have freedom to open accounts in different currencies. That has been a big catalyst in just allowing Kenyans to send money home without losing value. Yeah. So you are able to send money in your, if you're earning in dollars, you remit in dollars. If you're earning in Chinese yuan, now you can be able to send that home in that currency and wait for the rates, because sometimes rates keep on changing. So they would come in and convert that at a very convenient rate. So this has been actually a catalyst in a big way to ensure that Kenyans send back home money, they invest back home. And the biggest thing that has also happened over the last 2 years, we have been out there as a bank holding roadshows and just engaging Kenyans in town halls. As I had mentioned earlier, we had a team in Europe, spent a whole month just visiting Kenyans in groups and engaging them about, and they're asking questions about what we are doing back home here. So that has also given people a lot of confidence in terms of remitting back home money and just giving them confidence to invest back, especially people who want to invest in real estate.
So the fact that now they're building confidence, that means that prior to that, they were hesitant. Talk to us about what, now if you approach these people who are in different parts of the country, in the world, what did they tell you? What kind of challenges were they experiencing when it comes to sending money back at home?
The biggest challenge, I think, is Kenyans who are in the diaspora had lost some confidence in relatives, because many Kenyans, I think you've heard stories of people sending money to an uncle or a sister. And
I also wanted to touch on that because there's a lot of that as well. So now from here, what were they saying?
Yes, so you find they send money to probably an uncle to buy them land, build for them a house. And this uncle definitely buys a house, but the house is in their personal names. So somebody has worked for, and we don't grow young. We are always growing old. So you have stayed in the diaspora for a lot, maybe 20 years of your life, worked so hard, toiled, and you come back home and you don't find that. Okay, you find the house, but the house is registered in your uncle's name. And you know, us being Africans, you cannot start fighting your uncle. It's looked at as a bad omen, okay? So by us going out and just giving them assurance of what we have done, then many companies we have signed partnerships with to ensure that they remit back home money.
So is there a third party between, if I am in somewhere in France or Canada and I'm sending money back home, and again, as you say, now there are older relatives here that you're working with, and there's always that constant phone call and WhatsApp messages, and they're even sending you, this is the land, and apparently, now you'd find even for other stories that someone did not even buy this land. They're just, sharing to you fake, photos, and videos. Where does KCB come in? And if so, how far do you stretch? Because here you find court cases that, crop in. How far does KCB go to ensure that there's a good balance of the same?
Yeah, so Stanley, to just put into perspective, today as KCB we have 217 branches across the country.
Yes.
You go to all places, name it, Lodwar. Today we are opening a third branch in Meru.
Okay.
Today, last week we opened one in Homa Bay. And this is just to bring our services closer to the ground. And one thing that we are doing as a bank is to bring in experts. So for diaspora customers, we have ensured that each diaspora customer has a relationship manager.
Okay.
So wherever you sit, whether you're in Qatar, Madrid, Spain, you have a relationship manager who is a bridge between you and the bank. So after assigning relationship managers to customers, we have made it easier for them to communicate back. So if I wanted to do a project and I'm in the diaspora, I would call my relationship manager and share with him and say, this is what I want to do. The relationship manager is trained in a way also to pick up the relevant support units. For example, if you want now to do a mortgage, I want to construct a house. we have our mortgage division.
Okay.
So the relationship manager will liaise with our colleagues, experts in mortgage division, who will walk the journey, because these are experts in terms of just looking at your project. What do you want to do? How much does it cost? We have quantity surveyors who will be able to look at your vision, look at your documentation, look at your structure of funding. Do you want to borrow? Do you want to save for you to do that project? So they will walk the journey with you. What we have also done in terms of protecting our customers is to bring in KCB bank assurance. Of course, when you are doing such projects, you require a cover, insurance cover for your workers. You require insurance cover for the property itself, materials. So we have bank assurance. So when we are doing all these things from within the bank, it has given our Kenyans a lot of confidence for them to deal with the bank and avoid the old route where they were using friends, relatives.
So the first call that I make is to my relationship manager.
Yes, yes.
So I talked to him. I explained to him that in Kitengela, I need to buy 2 acres of land and build a palatial home there. I'll be back after about 3 years to live there. So after the relationship manager, again, the experts, as you tell us, they also advised me on what needs to be done, the whole insurance breakdown. So after that, how do I link my family? Because, I mean, they're the ones who might also, make sure that they pull the strings to even buy the land and all that. So explain to us the link between my family back at home and the branch in Kitengela, the KCB branch in Kitengela.
Yes, being Africans, we are also very emotive about our projects.
Yes.
And you would want your father to see what you are doing. Of course, when Kenyans are living here to go and work out, they have a desire to take care of their families and to own something that will drive wealth for their families and give security and assurance. Of course, as we age, you are always thinking about your family. So as a bank, we work very closely with our clients and ensure that their family also participates in the journey that we are working with them. So we encourage our clients. Of course, our relationship manager have a very personalized relationship with the customers.
Okay.
So they will get to know who are their children, who are their parents back here. Because remember, at one point, they have also arranged an insurance cover, probably for the parents, for medical. So they already know them. Now, when this process starts, we will ask again the client to introduce this family to our internal experts, okay? So that when you are doing something on a site in Kitengela, you would have your relatives come and see what is happening. They are happy to take photos and share on WhatsApp. And also just give you that assurance that your work is going on very well.
Right.
So we love bringing in everybody. And you'll also be happy when you see that photo. We send you a photo of your house, and your father has also sent you the same.
So you
so it gives you a
two-step
pleasure.
verification.
Yeah, a lot of satisfaction.
Yes.
Yes.
So even back at home, in case you're watching us right now, you are Asababani umefika Kenya. Karibu sana, by the way. Welcome back to the country, and to those even planning to come, and to those who are calling their family and friends and telling them, Karibuni Kenya, tumetafuta kambuzi. These are the kind of conversations for KCB helping you understand for diaspora remittance. Do you have a question, a concern? 22047 is our SMS number. We'll be sampling your questions, your feedback. 0793 267 279 is our WhatsApp number. We'll be making sure that you understand this. You can also call us live, and Mr. Alonda will be answering your questions right here live. 0795 045 864. Usiseme swali yako ilienda hivi hivi. Be making sure that we actually understand it. So, Mr. Alonda, on the same spirit about the kind of challenges that now these people face. So even as a bank, and even in the banking sector in the country. So first off, talk to us about the kind of policies that exist that probably need to be implemented, that policies in Kenya, in East and Central Africa, in Africa largely, and even globally, that become hindrances and bottlenecks that we could probably be getting even larger and more remittances that we are right now. But then these policies are hindering that.
Yeah, when you look at the diaspora story, it's a very exciting one. And you look at countries who have gotten this right, like India. By the way, India has the largest population of diasporans in the world. You look at today, according to IOM numbers, we have about 127 million diasporans in the world. India has about 37 million. 37 million is probably 3/4 of the Kenyan population. So
that definitely reflects much on the remittances they get.
Yes, and you see today India is getting a lot of remittances from the diaspora. Just the other day they were able to do a huge project through their infrastructure bond, which was floated by the government. And when you look at how India made it, India made sure that the players work very closely to support the diaspora movement. So you find financial institutions heavily get involved in ensuring that they facilitate migration of their people abroad. If somebody has gotten a job, let's say you are in Calcutta and you have gotten a job to go to Los Angeles to work in a ship. So the financial institutions will be able to come in and finance your travel, ticket. You require insurance. You require some little pocket money to travel, and they have gotten it right. And as Kenya, we are trying to have the same. And I want to thank government, because when you look at the government of Kenya, 2 years ago, we established a State Department for Diaspora Affairs, which has given Kenyans a lot of confidence that even if I'm outside there, I have a whole State Department of government just looking after my welfare.
Yeah.
So that is a big plus, I think, to the Kenyan diaspora community. And the financial institutions like KCB, we have also rolled out a product to enable Kenyans who want to migrate to the diaspora to be able to travel, and we finance your relocation. So just borrowing on the Indian model, we have done a lot in terms of just reinforcing and ensuring that we support Kenyans who want to move to the diaspora.
All right.
Yes.
So currently in Kenya, what we kind of talking to now, the lawmakers themselves, what kind of policies do we need to refine and probably even have so that we become what you're talking about for India, for example?
In terms of taking care of Kenyans in the diaspora, I want to give a thumbs up to our government. I think over the last 2 years, we have done quite a lot. And for our lawmakers, just to urge them to continue supporting, one, the State Department for Diaspora Affairs to ensure that they are able to take care of Kenyans, and two, to support legislations that will ensure and promote financial institutions like KCB to lend and support Kenyans who are moving into the diaspora to be able to get tools like, the tickets and such. Make regulation easier for people moving out there. And of course, one question that Kenyans always worry about is taxation. You talk to Kenyans and they're like, if I send money home, will I be taxed again?
Yeah.
I think
the whole double taxation,
which is a fallacy actually, because it doesn't happen. These people earn wherever they earn. What they are sending home is a saving, maybe for school fees of their children. So our government also needs just to make it clear to Kenyans and that we are not taxing you.
Because the question now arises, if, for example, I'm filling in this account do I need to write a certain address and residence that I'm staying? Again, you talk about Calcutta, for example, and then you move again. So what does the government, again, and even as a bank, do you define this as permanent residence? Tell us about that.
Yes, if you're in the diaspora, we capture your details. Again, your address, physical address. Most of the people in the diaspora use physical address. So we capture your physical address. This is just for purposes of communication.
So if I move, I again have to tell my relationship manager that
yes. You inform your relationship manager, because sometimes we send tools to them. For example, your card.
Okay.
Cards expire. Okay. So we would want to send to you the ATM card for purposes of you transacting well with a new card. We would want, for example, and sometimes during festive seasons like now, you'd find your relationship manager wants to send a token probably for Christmas to you. We produce calendars, we produce diaries. Okay. So we have relationship managers who dispatch such things, items to their customers.
All right.
And we would encourage you just to always update us when you're moving to a new place. Share with us your new details, especially your telephone number, your new address, so that when your relationship manager is sending some items to you, they don't get lost or returned back. All right. So we encourage update, and also just to assure I know we have so many Kenyans who are in the country now from the diaspora during this festive season. Make an effort to visit our branches. We have 217 branches spread across. Okay. Make sure that you update your details on your system. If you have challenges with your tools like internet banking, feel free to visit our branches across the country to ensure that you are able to renew such tools and update before you leave the country.
Right. Yes. And speak about updating on our WhatsApp number. Continue sending us your questions and feedback. I'll be asking them to Mr. Olenda right now. So someone says, this is Moniki. Good morning, TV47. My name is Moniki. Do I get to close my diaspora account if I no longer stay there for about 3 years now?
If you are not staying in the diaspora, and that is why I was talking about update, if you come back, and this happens a lot, especially with, and I thank Maniki for the question, with our diplomatic family. You find somebody has been appointed to serve in, let's say, Pakistan for a period of 4 years, and after the term he comes back to Kenya. So it will be very important for you to come to your branch, any branch of KCB, ask for an update form. We will be able to capture the new address, your new address back home. We capture also your telephone number, because remember at that time we had your international telephone number. So we have to capture the local number, we have to capture your new address.
So how about the savings? Do you revert them back now to my home branch as well?
For our diaspora customers, the customer sits in the branch.
Okay.
So when we are updating this account, it will still remain in the branch.
Okay.
The branch has two categories of accounts. One is a local account, and the other one is a diaspora account. So diaspora accounts are for people who are staying out of the borders. Anybody out of the borders is considered a diasporan. So if it is Uganda.
So if I have savings in that diaspora account, and I no longer stay in the diaspora, what happens to my savings?
We update it to a local account.
To the local, okay.
Yes.
All right. And now, before we wrap it up, because this is, you had mentioned about insurance, and I also now want to get into this whole other bit of insurance for health, for education as well. Tell us about KCB's journey on this insurance and how you also work with your customers for the same, to ensure that someone is all the way in Qatar, but then they have a nice insurance for their children or relatives back in Kenya for health as well as education and others.
Oh, thank you, Stanley. One thing that I've seen with Kenyans who are moving into the diaspora, people always want to move into the diaspora to work and support their families. And family here, we are looking at parents, we are looking at siblings, we are looking at own children, sometimes spouse. And as you are out there, you want to ensure their comfort. As you are working, you want to ensure the comfort of your parents. And one big item that I have seen is Kenyans securing medical cover for their parents at home. And KCB, we saw this as a big concern. We spoke with our, of course, KCB Bank Assurance to come up with a nice model to provide a cover. And we launched out senior medical cover for our Kenyans who are in the diaspora to secure an insurance cover for their parents. Many of them also want to work and save for their children. So we have an education policy which is managed through our bank assurance unit, just to cover medical, education for the children, because some people don't travel with their children, they leave them here. So they want a saving plan for the education of their children, which our KCB Bank Assurance is able to facilitate. There's also another cover that many people don't know. You know, when Kenyans are out there, remember we are very home-oriented.
Yes.
And we are not permanent. So sometimes things happen. And somebody, you know, we say God takes you, okay, when you're abroad.
Yes.
So we have a cover for repatriation.
Okay.
Yes, so that in the unfortunate time that happens, pressure is not put on the family. Because some of us, we have now to start a committee, Nairobi committee and Nyumbani. So just to remove that headache, and you know, some of the parents are also very elderly, we encourage Kenyans, and many have taken a cover for repatriation in case something happens, then the body can be easily brought back home for interment.
So that means the KCB local branch will have, now apart from, if for example I was there and the sudden demise, they have contacts for close family members just to reach out.
Yes.
For the same.
For every person in the 3 million customers that we have, each is assigned to a relationship manager.
Yes.
And we are very close, because what we have done, we have also reached out to community. Kenyans are very well organized out there. They are into communities, and each community has a chairman. So in case the unfortunate happens, the chairman will reach out to a relationship manager who will contact the branch, and we process that for the family.
And speak about even the organization of that KCB, even taking a look at the websites. You're big on chamas for the same. Talk to us about the kind of chamas that exist out of the borders of the country, even for these Kenyans as well.
Yes, we have worked with a lot of Kenyan groups. And as I said, Kenyans are very, very well organized into smaller communities. So in these communities, you go to Berlin, you find a chairman of Kenyans who is also very well connected with the local mission there. So these leaders have been able to bring Kenyans into what we call chamas. They meet every Saturday, let's say Saturday afternoon, contribute some money and put them together. So what we have done as a bank is also to open chama accounts.
Oh, that's
chama
beautiful.
Accounts. And our relationship managers have been very good to help. Of course, if they're in Germany, we also help them to open, to register back here at home and have an account. And that account, they send the money into that account for their operational issues when they are back home here. Some of these chamas have actually grown, and as I speak today, we are actually working with one of the chamas in Qatar of Kenyans who want to invest in real estate. They have now grown to that level. So they have put money together, and they are thinking of doing a building. They are saving through our KCB Investment Bank. into a mutual fund. So this fund has grown, and they have approached us now to finance construction of a whole block in Nairobi here. And we really want to thank our missions out there, the Kenyan missions, who have made sure that they bring Kenyans together into groups of investment and welfare.
Right.
This has also helped in a big way.
All right. Before we wrap it up, I'm definitely sure that KCB has a Merry Christmas kind of a message to the people, some goodies that you'd like them to have for this particular Christmas and festive season. But what will be your last thoughts, your parting shots, your takeaway home for someone who has been listening to us this whole hour that they really need to remember pertaining this whole conversation?
One, I want to thank Kenyans out there who work very hard to support their families and relatives, of course. When you're out there and a neighbor's child doesn't have school fees, you're always called upon to support. So I want really to thank you for what you are doing for yourselves and your families. And this nation, as you invest back home, that is how we are building this economy through your savings. Here, when you remit money, we see money, remittances growing day by day. We want to encourage you to continue doing that back home so that you support this economy. When you are constructing, remember KCB, we have our mortgage division, which will help you to do your construction in a very professional way. Let us avoid these stories of investing through our relatives. It's causing a lot of antagonism in families. If you want to invest on stock exchange or government bonds, remember to contact your relationship manager to help you do that. And if you want to open an account, feel free to reach out to our agents.
And that is actually, sorry to cut you short even as you continue, Kibiende Chaviha says, I'm a seafarer moving from country to country, continent to another. How do I register? So even as you also wind it up, you can also answer Chaviha on that.
Yes, so we have our website, www.kcbgroup.com. Go into that link, look for Diaspora Banking. When you are on that page, send us your comment. What do you want us to do for you? We will be able to pick that up and assign to a relationship manager in charge of your continent. I have enough relationship managers for each continent and each region. So we are able to cover you and reach out to you. If you're in Kenya, feel free to reach us at Kencom House, 6th floor.
Yes.
That is where Diaspora Banking Unit is based. And we'll be able to support you if you're out mashinani, nyumbani, umetembea in the village, rural. Visit our branch, any of our branch which is closer to you. They will be able to support you and guide you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and I really wish you a Merry Christmas.
Oh, yes.
And a Happy New Year.
Most definitely. Simon Halonda, he is head of Diaspora Banking at KCB. And thank you very much for all your questions, your comments. Even as you're continuing, I was throwing them at him. There's a whole question about for long-distance truck drivers as well. You in different countries, how do you manage that as well? Thank you very much for all your questions. Thank you also for tuning in from 6 a.m. until now. On behalf of George Maringa and the whole entire team for this amazing production, I'm usually standing in Ringita. Have yourself a marvelous Monday morning. Kwaheri.